Hi guys, welcome to the Divine Medium Presents Spirit Talk Live. Today we are going to discuss several things. I did get asked by several of my viewers, and I do have to kind of just say I'm so proud of everyone. I had 5.4 thousand views, and my media team told me it was the highest A1R has ever had. So like, that's awesome. We're getting the message out, and that's all that matters. But I did get asked to do a angel of the week, a crystal of the week, and a number of the week. So our angel of the week is Michael. And I want to discuss Michael because I feel like he's really important if you guys are dealing with a lot of negativity, draining vampires, energy vampires. He fights evil and deals with the power of good. He also helps police officers, fire workers, ambulance, anyone that's saving lives. He's going to be right there helping assist them. So he concerns himself with truth and justice. God sends him out to help people of the earth who are facing urgent needs like car accidents, maybe a home invasion, things like this, things that are scary that a life might be taken. His color is actually not purple. You will hear a lot that his color is like a cobalt blue or purple. It's actually not. It is a bright orange, like a brick orange and red mixed. And his voice is very bold and clear, so you can't miss him. He's very to the point, very precise, as opposed to, let's say, Gabriel, who's goofy and humorous. Okay, they're total opposites. Okay, so the crystal of the week is black tourmaline. This also helps you get rid of any kind of negativity. So having both Michael and your black tourmaline is going to help with protection, help aid you with energy vampires, drama queens, things like this that you just want out of your space. Okay. Now, when you guys look up numbers, because a lot of people get sequenced numbers, and this is a lot of signs from your spirit guides, not your angels. A lot of people will mistake that as your angels. It's really not. It's your spirit guides giving you these answers. Your spirit guides are the only ones that can guide you on your soul contract. Angels are only equipped to intervene on your behalf, especially when asked, to protect you in these manners, okay? So the spirit guide number for this week is going to be ones. So if you're seeing a rotation of 1, 111, 911, 1011, all these ones coming into play, that's basically think more positive. You're going to start on a new path, and they don't want you thinking negative. They want you to think more positive. Okay, so this odd number also presents that God is with you. Okay. Now, we do have a lot of questions. The first question I would like to go over is Seeking Wisdom asked, can we still communicate with our loved ones if they have already reincarnated and are back here on Earth? Yes, because if you're made in God's image and He can be everywhere, so can you. So your part of your soul can be in heaven. Part of your soul can be reincarnating on multiple levels of lives. Part of your soul is with your loved ones still here as they go through their soul contracts. Your loved ones don't leave. And what I find a lot of people doing is sticking every soul into a bottle. And this is where they think that everything is contained, is just in a little contraption, okay? Which isn't the case at all. When you're a soul, you're free. You break free. You can do all these things. And you're not composed to one little compartment, okay? The next question, let's see. Okay, Amina Tolan. Let me find her. Amina Tolan. How do we know if we are on the right path? Here's the thing. I get asked this all the time, and the answer I get back from the guides is you're not on any right path. You're not doing a wrong path. You're not doing a right path. You are simply on a learning path. You asked to come here to learn. Okay. Now, I do have a lot of questions on why would we pick a soul contract that's so tragic? Why do bad things happen to people? Why not have always good? I remember Melissa Ream had asked earlier on one of the posts, why why would we ask for bad things? Why can't we just have good things? Because if that was the case, then you would just go to another realm. You come to Earth for specifically these issues, because you're not going to accept and understand the good stuff unless you go through the bad stuff. We are actually getting some activity in the room right now. That was a little odd. So, okay. No, they're in the room with Justin. Okay. Kimberly Ann asks, what's the difference between tarot and oracle? Tarot, here's the thing. I know a lot of people love doing tarot, and I understand that, and I don't want to like burst your fun bubble with that, okay? But here's what I try to express to people. If you have a devil or death in your deck, you're not communicating with the right communication. If you're wanting your guides or your angels to kind of pay attention and communicate with you, if you have those cards in your deck, it's going to be negative. It's going to come off negative to them. They're going to want to deal with more love and light kind of functionings with a card, okay? So that is the difference. You're gonna want to go more oracle with that. What happens after death? Okay, Robin Jones asks, what happens after death? After death, there's a lot of things that happen. When I passed in 2009, there is a veil. Let me see if I can. Let me see yours. Okay, there is a veil, and I could see what was going on in the car accident. I could see everybody running around, but there was this like see-through shimmer that kind of just went like this, okay? And it was like, it looked like liquidy fabric, and it was iridescent. And wherever I went, this filmy, liquidy substance kind of went with me, okay? It kind of reminds me of the placenta, when you're surrounded by the placenta. So this substance kind of goes with you. So you know you can't cross through. Because if you cross through it, obviously you're Jesus. So that's not going to happen. So this substance lets you navigate on different realms as well as Earth, but you know there's an all-knowing, you don't cross it. You can observe and stay that way, but you can't cross it. When you pass, you go and do a life review. The life review is you feeling everything that everyone else felt. It's almost like switching roles, and you feel what you did to yourself. Okay, so you actually feel what you did. If somebody was standing there and going, you did this, this, and this, and this, you're not going to learn anything. You're going to learn more by experiencing what was experienced here, okay? You're not going to learn by somebody judging you and going, you did this, this, and this. You have to feel it for yourself. So God allows you to do this through the life review. It's not God judging you, it's you judging yourself. I can tell you when I was going through my life review, I remember biting down on my sister, and I didn't feel the physical, I felt the emotional, what I did to her by doing that, okay? So you will feel the physical. Okay, so I got a lot of questions on suicide. Why would this happen? Do they go to hell? Are they earthbound? Blah, blah, blah. Susie Montez, and I hope I'm not butchering names, Tanya Peach, Rupadur Basra. I'm totally butchering names. Okay, so basically with suicides are not looked at as negative or bad. God is not going to throw you here knowing that you are going to end up committing suicide anyway, okay? He understands how hard it is himself. He was here himself, and he understands how hard it is. You have to remember, if we were made in his image, we're also energy like him. So if he decides to come to a life and he can be everywhere, he can do that. He can come here, have a life, and be in heaven, just like we are. So when it comes to suicide, this is just basically a soul that put too much in their soul contract. They put too much on themselves before they came here. And what you have is them just saying, this is too hard. I gotta go back home and regroup. I can't do this anymore. Think about it. What if, let's say, you were going to college and the class courses you were taking just started getting really, really hard, and life started taking over, and it was too tough to do. Are your teachers going to condemn you? No. They'll say, why don't you take a semester off and regroup? And if you want to come back and finish, you can. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with God. That's how he sees it. I know how hard it is when, and I think the reason it hits us so hard here is because you were rooting for them. Your soul was rooting for them so much, and you didn't want them to give up so easily. But in the long run, you have to sit back and go, I do realize why they did it. It really was hard for them. I saw how much they struggled. So you kind of have to take it from another soul to soul, kind of look at it that way. Now, and I'm not condemning anyone's church, and I know there's a lot of believers here. I mean, I'm one of them. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. Obviously, I'm wearing, my belief in what I experienced with Jesus right here. So I don't know why it gets tangled like that, but the church really put fear into people. They, and I understand where they were coming from with that, the fact that, they don't want you killing yourself, okay? And neither does God. He wants you to try your best and do whatever you can to help yourself here. And they don't want you to, give up so easily. Because the second you give up, you're going to go back to heaven and go, man, why did I shorten it? Why didn't I just push through and finish? Why didn't I just push through and finish? It's just like school. Why am I giving up? Why don't I just try harder and get those A's? Sometimes it's just too hard, okay? So they don't want you to look badly on suicide. They want you to see it as a life lesson. So if you're seeing the after effects, it's almost going to kind of recheck your soul and say, okay, now that you're seeing the after effects, maybe your soul won't do this. Don't give up so easily. So it's almost like suicides are kind of like our wake-up call to kind of step back and go, I see the effects, and I don't want to do that. I want to finish off, and I don't want to hurt myself and others, okay? But I truly do think the reason why we take it so hard is because we were rooting for them, and they couldn't do it. And that's okay. It's not a big deal. They're just going to go back to heaven, regroup, and understand why they couldn't make it through. And then they'll have the decision of, do they want to come back and try again? It's the same thing with suicides. Suicides usually get 3 tries. They will overdose 3 times. Overdoses, after the second time, they go back. You might not remember, but their soul is going through a meeting with the council, and they're saying, you're going to get one more time. If you overdose that last time, we're bringing you back for good. There's no coming back. We're just going to bring you back and regroup, because obviously it's not working out for you. Okay, so that's with the overdoses. Where's my list here? Okay, I kind of wanted to go over abortions, miscarriages, and baptisms as well. So abortion, I know a lot of people, think that this is horrible. And I got to tell you, the child already knows what's going to take place, or they wouldn't have come through. They wouldn't have agreed to come through. So if the soul contract is all mapped out, that child already knows that mother's going to make that decision, okay? And they're agreeing to come through and go back, okay? So don't beat yourself up if you did this and then down the road, I've had so many mothers that have just put themselves through turmoil. God knows what's in your heart. Your child knows what's in your heart. And same thing with miscarriages. This is just a pure soul that agreed to come for a very short amount of time and then leave. They are not meant to stay, okay? Baptisms. The church wants to make you believe that if you don't have a baptism, that this child's going to go to hell. Again, this is a control mechanism to keep coming to their church, to keep doing these things and coming to their church and giving them money. Okay, this is a scare tactic. This is not what happens. When I was in heaven, I was shown that these children all go to heaven. God is not going to turn away a child that just started out on a life just because somebody didn't do something for them. It's ridiculous. It's not. It'd be like my son when he passed. He was inside my body when he passed. He came into earth with sin, as they put it, you're born with sin, you come into life with sin, then that would mean he went to hell, correct? Because he didn't get baptized. It's not going to happen. I mean, you guys really have to kind of really think about this, wrap your head around this. It's a scare tactic. It doesn't happen. I went through the ward. It's called the ward in heaven. It's where the little teeny babies, and the teeny babies are the newbies. So let's say for somebody that maybe had an abortion, the babies are taken care of because they just started out with life. And this is like a pure soul that basically agreed that they would come through and then go back. There's an agreement there, okay? So your guides do not want you beating yourself up. If you had a miscarriage, or an abortion, I want you guys to actually give those child a name. I want you to come to terms and say, I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry, abortion-wise. I'm sorry I did this. I wish I could have handled things a little bit differently. I can't do that. Please forgive me. And can I start a spiritual relationship with you? You can start this relationship with them. And then when you go back, you can decide if you want to have a full life with them. And that will be their decision as well as yours to agree upon to come and do a full life together, okay? This might be the life where it just wasn't meant to happen, okay? But that's up to your soul contracts to do that. Okay. Sheena Brown asked, are loved ones with us? Are they always with us? Yes. Again, if you were made in God's image and he can be everywhere, so can you. Why are, Missy Harrell asked, why are souls earthbound? Souls are not earthbound. And I hear this all the time, oh, we need to cross them over. No, they're dead. Their body passed away. They've already crossed over. Where do you think they went? Their soul crossed over. They have already crossed. And we're not having what's called earthbound spirits. What we have is a soul that is in a plateau kind of state. They're still in heaven, but their perception is that they don't feel that they finished certain things that they wanted to finish, and they are forgetting that they agreed on their soul contract that they would leave at this time, this way, on this date, and at this time. These things happen because they are supposed to be happening. Your loved ones don't leave you. They're always with you. It's the body. The body was made up of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. So was the earth. The earth was made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So if Earth is made that way. Now think of the astronaut metaphor that I always use, the astronaut being the soul, an astronaut suit as the vessel. So the astronaut suit stays on Earth, okay? Because that's what it's part. But you're not earthbound. What you have is just a soul that is still trying to kind of learn, and it's their free will to kind of continue learning that way because they feel that they, and eventually they're going to go, okay, I think I'm wasting my time here. Nothing's getting done. Let me go back and kind of regroup and see if I want to come through again. Let's see. Okay, Seeking Wisdom asked about if your loved one's in a life review, can a medium still connect to them? Yes, they can. I get asked all the time, well, what's the soonest I can have a reading after somebody passed? There is no time. There's no time in heaven. So, and I've done funerals where, I was sitting right there writing everything down that they were saying. I've been to ICU units where I talk to them as as they choose to pass and they're passing on. I connect to them right there. There is no time. True mediums, there's no time. I'm the only actually medium that I talk to ICU patients, and that's my gift in particular with those souls. Okay, so somebody asked me about dreams. Let's see. Claudia Laura asked, what are some 5 symbols for a dream? Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 in particular. So house and rooms. House and rooms is compartmentalized. How do you say that? Compartmentalized? No. Okay, I don't have to. Organizing is basically what it is. It's saying in your dream, remember, your soul is not, or your body's not, your soul's not waiting around for your body to wake up, okay? So it comes back with all these messages. And remember, every minute here is 1,000 there. So you can imagine how many years you've been gone, okay, with your dreaming. So you come back and the body's saying, wow, you have been gone a long time. And I gotta kind of make something up of where you've been. So it has these broken up sequencing dreams, and those dreams have messages. Okay, so if you're dreaming of being in rooms and houses, things like this is organizing. It's saying you're not organizing your life, and you keep trying to place yourself in certain areas of your house to kind of organize your thoughts, okay? Okay, running. If you're trying to run, that means you're running away from something that you need to be facing in this life. Falling. Falling means you're going to come into something really fast. You're going to fall into it fast. You're going to start something new fast, okay? Stairs. Now, this is different. If you're going up the stairs, you're ascending. So you're becoming more aware of something that's going on in your life. If you're descending, you're confused. You don't really know what's going on, and you're kind of losing grip on the situation, okay? Let's see. Snakes. Snakes are watch who's being sneaky behind your back. Bugs mean somebody's bugging you. So find out who's bugging you and kind of hit the situation dead on and kind of talk it through. Okay. Melissa had a good question. She said, are new souls being created? Yes. New souls are always being created. And can a soul die? I have never known a soul to die. I've known souls to accelerate, actually. They just keep going on forever and ever. And I believe in the Bible, it is said that you will live forever with me in heaven. So no, I've never experienced a soul that died. Does good outweigh evil? Again, Melissa Reams, she has some really good questions. I'm loving these questions. It's just off the wall. I love them. Yes, good does always outweigh. Now, I did have someone, and I can't remember who asked, how did dark, happen? Like, how does that even happen? Well, because you basically had something that was good and created, and God gives those things free will to, learn and think for themselves. And, he's a father. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, and he picks you back up and dusts you off and says, okay, try better next time. Okay. Again, you can't have a loving God over here and a vengeful God over here. So what you have is an unconditional loving God saying, okay, brush yourself off and keep going, okay? Thank you, David. I love him. He's awesome. Okay. So basically, the dark ended up getting a mind of its own. I love him. So basically, you have something dark that's getting a mind of its own, and it's and it thinks that it can do better than the good, and then you have it wreaking havoc, on things that it shouldn't be doing, thinking that it's like basically is what you have is the disease of the ego took over something good. Okay. Are some guides better than others? Again, Melissa Reeves. Okay, her questions are great. So no, I've never heard of a good guide going bad. There's different guides. There's guides for love. There's guides for money. There's guides for travel. Same thing with your angels. If like suddenly, and I think I wrote it down here somewhere. Here, let me see. Where's it at? 22. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So if you have free will and you're begging the angels to bring a loved one, like help your boyfriend to love you better, an angel can't take someone else's free will. And that would actually be something your guides would do. And again, they wouldn't take somebody else's free will from them. They respect their free will. But if you worry about, let's say if you're worried about somebody traveling, you can call in the travel angels, okay? And the travel angels will, surround that person that you're worried about and support them and help them. And again, angels and guides cannot intervene unless asked. Now, if it's in the free will soul contract that it was agreed upon that a certain angel would come at a certain time to save somebody from this, and this, that's already set in stone. You can't change that. But I'm talking like day-to-day things. If you really want to have a better day than you already are, then you're going to ask your guides, hey, can you help me out with today? I'm kind of struggling. Can the angels help me with strength and intervene and help build up my strength so I can keep going today? You can ask for that. Or if you're really struggling with grieving, you can say to your angels, to the grieving angels that deal with this, that can you take this from me? I can't do this anymore. Take it from me. I've actually seen a woman do this at a funeral. She said, I can't do this anymore. I need you to take this from me. And she came out, wasn't crying anymore. It was like it never even happened. And she was smiling and enjoying her loved one that passed and enjoying the stories that were told to her.